When you think of productions out of Lucasfilm, what comes to mind? Well, obviously, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, American Graffiti, Howard the Duck. Had to throw that one in. Willow. Well, some you may not have considered. Red Tails. Kind of forgettable, to be honest. It just wasn't very good. Also, this banger here. Strange Magic. Yeah. You're not missing anything if you haven't seen it. And I'm saying that as someone who worked on it. Wasn't crazy about it. However, would you ever think historical documentaries? So I paid a visit over to Lucasfilm's YouTube channel. I was kind of surprised. Only 198 videos. I wonder if they've taken some down. 179,000 subscribers. I mean, Mike Zero has more than that. Here's what's surprising. All these documentaries. I started watching one. I like it. I'm scrolling through here. This is the kind of content I like, actually. They started about 4 months ago. I'm scrolling down, posting these. I was like, when did this happen? I don't remember hearing anything about this. Yeah, 5 months ago. The first one posted 5 months ago. Like, what's going on? So I looked it up, and there were really not many announcements other than this one here on the official Lucasfilm website. Let's bring it in here. Back on June 12th. I don't know how many people did or didn't notice this. Maybe many people didn't care. Probably pissed off over Acolyte. But it says Lucasfilm is releasing acclaimed historical documentaries. This is something I love, actually. The vast series, produced by George Lucas, supports teachers and students with short films on a wide range of topics across history, the arts, and science. Lucasfilm is pleased to announce that an acclaimed series of historical documentaries are now being released on our official YouTube channel. Originally produced by George Lucas in 2007 as companions to the Young Indiana Jones television series. These half-hour films explore a wide range of topics, including world history, art, music, literature, civil rights, philosophy, and anthropology. We are now offering them as free educational resources for teachers, students, and curious people everywhere. These films remain an important example of George Lucas's ongoing commitment to empowering students and teachers with new resources and methodologies. I've always found that it's easier for students to relate to historical figures when they see them as human beings rather than dates and dry descriptions of events, he said back in 2007. I feel this approach makes history easier to understand and more accessible to students. So there's a little more in this article. You know me, I'll leave a link in the description. And I looked around, and the only mention I found was on RVFX, where someone asked, why is Lucasfilm posting documentaries these days in their YouTube channel? And someone links to the article we're looking at right now. And then people say, why not? And then question is why? Okay. Really, this got no coverage. I actually, does this link to the same article? Let me check. Okay, it was a different article, but it covers the same stuff. So I was blown away by this, honestly. I guess, what else are they going to do? I guess, okay, it makes sense. They probably post most Star Wars related content over on the Star Wars channel, even though they did post a little bit here, some stuff about Indiana Jones. That was the last they really covered. But I was really kind of just moved by this. I was like, wow, this is actually content I like, and I've started watching some of it. I'm actually enjoying it. I really am. Didn't think I'd see this. I guess they have nothing else to put over here. I'm glad they're sharing it, though. This is from George Lucas, probably the last work that he did that he was really passionate about before he tried doing, Red Tails and Strange Magic. Neither of which did very good, and I imagine that probably burned him out a little bit. I'd say my only critique is when you go to these videos, you'll see that everything is dislikes are disabled by owner. Comments obviously are disabled altogether. I get why Lucasfilm was probably doing this. People probably rage posting over shows like The Acolyte. However, listen, you got to own what you've done. People don't like The Acolyte. They're not going to like The Acolyte. I think a lot of people would like this stuff, though. And it's really hard to gauge how people are receptive to this. I would actually, I'll give this a like. I actually appreciate this work. The comments are important, and I really think they just need to step up and just own their work, good or bad. That said, what I think doesn't matter. Side note to that, I appreciate seeing some of George's end work because not all of it was well received. In fact, let's flip over here. What I hear from a lot of people is people always saying, oh, George needs to come back and buy Star Wars. He's not coming back. Okay, he's how old? Let me look this up here. Jorge Lucas. He is 80 years old. All right. 80 years old. He's not coming back. He's going to spend whatever years he can with his family. That's it. Dude had to be burned out. I mean, the blowback from the prequels. He had some scathing comments about Red Tails. At least how Hollywood was receptive of Red Tails. Where was that interview he did? I'll share this right here. Yeah, there were some articles where Lucas had said that studios did not know how to market a movie with mostly black cast and didn't think it would do well in foreign markets. So George is pretty mad at Hollywood and how they were responding to Red Tails. I will say, as someone who saw it, it really wasn't very well done. It didn't, in my opinion, it's not the movie that should have been made to commemorate those heroes. I think George maybe just tried too hard on that one. And then Strange Magic, that was his last little animation project. I think that had like the record for the lowest opening. I'm trying to find that. Strange Magic. Oh, yeah. The film debuted and grossed at $5.5 million across 3,000 theaters. Not good. Not good. And then, well, how many of you know about the Grady Ranch project? Let me bring that up. Give me just a second here. So, George wanted to build a film studio, another film studio on Skywalker Ranch. So he has the main side of Skywalker Ranch. He had Big Rock Ranch, where Lucasfilm Animation was at. And then down the road, he wanted to build the Grady Ranch. However, here's an old article from the Marin Independent Journal. They updated it in 2018. It was originally, published in 2012. So there was an HOA down the road, housing district, that fought him tooth and nail. I guess they fought pretty dirty. There were a lot of very dramatic articles that were going out around that time. And I think he got really wore out on this. In fact, at one point, He was so mad. I'm going to find the article. Here it is. So he was so mad, he announced he was going to build affordable housing in the area that he was going to build Grady Ranch at. I think this was him throwing shade at the people, saying, I'm going to drive down your property value. They basically beat him, right? He caved to the pressure, the stress, everything that was going around. It's a fairly wealthy little community down there. And even though George is a wealthy man, I think a lot of them are wealthy in their own right. There was some big houses down there. I remember some very big houses and probably some lawyers, probably well-connected people within Marin County. So, yeah, he had announced he was going to build affordable housing in that area. Never got to it. I drove through there about 2 months ago, headed down Lucas Valley Road. I go once in a while when I'm in town in that area. I drive through there just for, old time's sake, from memories. And I didn't see any indication that they were going to build anything. It looks the same way it did when I left in 2013, when we got moved out of the Big Rock Ranch. I do remember this. I pulled this out of my personal archive photos. So after the announcement, when George says, screw it, I'm not going to build, I drove past where the entrance was supposed to be for Grady Ranch on Lucas Valley Road. And some people had hung up these signs. And I managed to get a picture before someone from the properties came down and tore it down. So I was kind of surprised. I ran across this picture recently. I totally forgot that I took it. So listen, people, George isn't coming back. I don't like to fantasize about it, but the old man isn't coming back. Plain and simple. And I don't blame him at all. But I did find it very interesting, though, to come across these documentaries from Lucasfilm, because I am a huge fan of documentaries. I am old enough to remember when MTV had music. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm old enough to remember when Sci-Fi Channel had science fiction. I know, right? Insane. I'm also old enough to remember when the History Channel covered history. I used to watch it religiously. I loved the History Channel. My two favorite channels were History Channel and Sci-Fi Channel, because they covered my two favorite genres, which is history and sci-fi. And then they both managed to screw it up. So anyways, some historical content. I'm enjoying it. I've started watching it. I'm going to watch it all. Tip my hat to you, Lucasfilm. I did not know this came out. I wish it had more of an announcement. But I don't know, I guess everyone was looking elsewhere. I started watching this one as well. But I wanted to share that with you all, because this seemed to fly completely under the radar, because there was one great big blip a few months ago called The Acolyte and then Star Wars Outlaws, and everyone was focused there, which is too bad. Which is too bad for any history buffs and documentary buffs out there. You probably missed this as well. So I wanted to make sure that this fell on some of your radars. All right. Well, that is all that I have for this video. You don't have to click the notification bell. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to smash the like button. I don't fuck. What you can do is, if you want to support the channel or just be supportive, show your support, is I leave links in the description all the time in my template for nonprofits that care for animals, wild animals, farm animals, so on. Go toss them $5 or go donate to your local animal shelter. I'm sure everyone watching this has a local animal shelter, and all animal shelters could use help. I'll appreciate that a lot more. Well, let me close out of this. That's all I have. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next time.